Now let's talk about Sri Lanka. This week, Colombo welcomed a visitor, a Chinese vessel. It is called Xi'an 6. China calls it a research vessel, but the world believes this vessel is used for spying. Before it arrived in the Indian Ocean, both India and the US raised objections. They have been suspicious of this stop, Sri Lanka. And for the longest time, Sri Lanka delayed this visit. But then last month, their president went to China. President Ranil Wickremesinghe, he went for the BRI summit to China. And a week later, Xi'an 6 docked in Sri Lanka. What is the purpose of this visit? Neither Sri Lanka nor China have been able to explain. First, Colombo said the ship needs to restock, to replenish supplies, and that's why it is coming to Sri Lanka. But after the ship docked, the plans changed. Now it wanted to do research, and it was allowed to conduct the said research. In fact, Lankan officials were part of this exercise, and the local press is reporting all of it. They say the Chinese ship is conducting, quote-unquote, marine scientific research. And experts from Sri Lanka are involved in this. So it is a joint research exercise. On Sunday, Sri Lanka's foreign ministry spoke about it. It said the ship was allowed to conduct research, and Colombo has given them 2 days, 48 hours, to the ship to finish it. 48 hours to finish the research. And you have to feel for Sri Lanka here. They're stuck between a rock and a hard place. They're trying to keep everyone happy. The 48-hour window is a concession for China. At the same time, Colombo is trying to reassure New Delhi. They say the Chinese vessel is being watched by the Sri Lankan Navy. So basically, Colombo is telling New Delhi, trust us, we're watching this ship. But can India trust China? In the last 14 months, 2 Chinese ships have docked in Sri Lanka, both suspected of spying. And these are not baseless concerns. Look at the capabilities of these ships. The Xi'an 6 is a $77 million vessel, more than 90 meters in length. It can carry a large team. 60 crew members can spend 60 days at sea on the ship. It began its voyage in September. Again, China said this was a research project to study the Eastern Indian Ocean. And this assignment is 80 days long. 13 research teams are on board. They'll undertake 28 projects. What do they plan to study? Biodiversity. That's what China is claiming. They will study biodiversity. It could include studying the seabed, and that is problematic, studying the seabed, because seabed surveys help in submarine operations. The Indian Navy has been watching all of this. Earlier this year, the Navy chief spoke about this. His name is Admiral R. Hari Kumar. He called such research visits a challenge. And what are his apprehensions? The capabilities of these Chinese ships. The Navy chief said these ships can track and collect electronic signals. And if they operate too close to India or areas of Indian national interest, it poses a challenge to New Delhi. So what's the solution? The Navy chief said India has to work with its neighbors to increase surveillance of the region. In fact, let me quote from what he said. He said that statement. He said, we are keeping a very close watch in the Indian Ocean region. We put a lot of effort on surveillance, on maritime domain awareness. Our effort is to know who is present and what they're up to on a 24/7 basis. That is our job, and we deploy aircraft, UAVs, ships, and submarines. So the message is clear. Chinese research vessels are a security nightmare, and New Delhi is keeping a close eye. But what does it mean for neighbors like Sri Lanka? They should expect a pushback the next time a Chinese ship comes calling.